time for the Pucking Around podcast. Puck around and find out. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Pucking Around podcast. We're doing another playoff version. We're in round 2. We are going to be talking about that round 2, a lot about Boston, and I think we're going to touch on the refs as well. We're going to also talk about plays like the one Jacob Trouba I guess did. He tried to take off, I think it was in the last round. Martin Necas.
Game one of the series.
Martin Necas' head with his elbow. We're going to talk about hits like that and players like that. And we're going to do that right now, right here, right now on the Pucking Around podcast. If you're going to enjoy this, please give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get right into it. With me tonight is my Talking Habs partner right up there. That's Matt. Say hi, Matt. Next to Matt, his future looks so bright, he's got to wear glasses. That's Harry.
Hello, everybody.
And
that was so lame.
The guy over there, he's a little angry today. There's Cam.
Pain, just nothing but utter pain, disappointment, despair, and depression.
Can you tell?
Hi, everybody. How we doing? I can tell you how I'm doing. Not fucking great.
Can you tell who our Bruins fan is? Yes, it's Cam. All right. So last night, the Bruins. You know what? I don't know if I should introduce that game. Let's hear what Cam has to say. Last night, the game. Describe that game for us.
Pain, just utter pain. I think it was par for the course how it's went this series. You know, they got a lot of penalties, undisciplined play. Bruins lost 3-2. I think off of a horrible missed call on the goal by Bennett. I'm just perplexed by that in its entirety. That just swifted the momentum. See, I'm so fucking angry. I can't even speak. I'm fuming. I'm fuming at the ears, buddy. You can see steam coming.
You got your buddy.
No, that's just my vape because I need something to calm me down. Even though nicotine's giving me the bumps. No, I thought that was a good game. That Boston was on their. They were on their way to win that game. Send it to Florida 2-2. Despite the shot totals, a lot of Florida shots came on the power plays that later ensued after the Bennett goal. I was just perplexed by that whole thing. And I know Matt's going to disagree with me, and it's okay to disagree with me. But in my opinion, I'm someone who hates to blame officiating. But that when you have all the time in the world to look at that, and you just miss it. I don't have words.
I don't disagree with you on that call. I just think there's a lot of other issues plaguing the Bruins right now than just.
No, it's the undisciplined play for sure. I really do.
Their puck possession stats are awful. They're not shooting nearly enough.
Florida in games 2 and 3 were by far the better team. Okay. No question. Never going to argue that. They were the better team. But the Bruins came out in game 4, scored 2 goals in the first. They were taking it
perfectly, and then it just kind of.
No, but they kept pace. That's the problem. They kept pace with the game through that. And then I think that huge turning point was allowing that goal by Bennett, and then all of the ensuing penalties by Boston after. It was a game of frustration for the Bruins. I'm still baffled. I've been on Twitter the past 24 hours, and I'm just looking at all the posts and people just citing the rule and citation from the rule book that says what in there. Everyone's confused why that goal was even remotely close to allowed. And then I saw people referencing the goaltender interference that was ruled against Tampa when I can't remember who it was, but he wasn't even in the crease. And they said that was goaltender interference. It's starting to build up if you look at it for me. And I'm not liking the way it's going.
Do you think it's possible that your captain has anything to do with this? It's a lot of bad, how do I want to put it? Bad karma he's built himself over the years, and that could be rubbing off on the refs towards the Bruins. Have you ever thought of that? I'm just thinking that myself right now.
I don't like to think of it that way because I would like to believe that the refs treat every situation as its own element, not.
Oh God, we know that's not true. We know them swearing at Brendan Gallagher.
And that's why nothing happened to Sam Bennett. Granted, in in quick time, it's hard to tell, but
Oh no,
like I
I'll
said,
touch.
Brad Marchand wasn't getting the benefit of the doubt.
No,
It's not about, and I say it's not about the benefit of the doubt, and I'm not going to blame the refs for missing that sucker punch. I mean, you got to think that's so quick. You're not going to make that. But what I don't like is that the excuses that the NHL made, and they said like, oh well, that angle where the clear punch wasn't made available to us. What the fuck do you mean it wasn't made available to you?
I heard this today. I guess the TSN feed was like the only feed that had that angle. For whatever reason, the NHL didn't have the TSN feed. I don't know.
The TNT it's feed, not excusable.
Now fishy to me.
I guess supposedly their camera didn't have a good angle on. I don't know.
Toronto is able to see all broadcasts, so I don't agree with it.
Angles.
They're able to see it. They have all access to everything. So just that.
Is it just me, or do you feel like the FBI is watching us right now?
Yeah, big brother. I have no problem with saying fuck the refs.
Up in the corner.
Rick, if they had all the angles too, I think you might be onto something. I think it goes back to, well, it's Brad Marchand getting punched in the face. Like, they're not gonna give him anything.
But that
like
for me,
a reputation, which isn't right.
But for me,
Gallagher.
But
for me, if you're the league though, and you're gonna see that, and if you're gonna claim player safety, that we care about player safety, I don't care who the fuck it is. Even if that was Matt Cook that got knocked the fuck out or something like that, just because you have a history, that does not mean that you are open ice or free game to go get hit and to get punched like that.
But Cam, you're talking to Canadians fans, Habs fans, right? Brendan Gallagher gets treated like this all the time. And if I'm correct, in 2021, wasn't it in that playoffs where he got cross-checked to the throat? No penalty, no suspension. So they do this kind of shit. They've been doing it for a long time. And now that the gambling is in, they're even more corrupt.
I'm not going to touch upon that. I really don't like to think that holds.
Listen, if you're corrupt about one thing, then to say, well, to lie about the camera angle and all that, it's not beyond them. Yeah, it's not beyond them to protect their own position.
I think that, you have to defend your product, right? I think that's why Bettman in Toronto is standing by the referees on that. But the only thing I agree with Don Sweeney on after his press conference today, to me, in my opinion, he was sackless. He should have accepted the fine. Montgomery should have accepted the fine. Yeah, I think they should have.
Sure, he was going to lay into the refs and take the fine, but he just kind of turtled. Like, he was pathetic.
I agree with the point that he made, that if they are going to make calls like that, they just need a better explanation than just, no, we just didn't allow. We just allowed it, because that's basically the communication that came out of Toronto. Is like, nope, it's fine, and I'm like, okay. So when people are literally on Twitter and everyone else is blowing you up with the picture from your rule book saying, well, this is it. So what exactly are your standards? So what are we supposed to do if it goes to the situation room? We're relying on you guys, the experts, to make this judgment. You have all the time in the world. It's a timeout. You can do whatever. You've taken more time for less bullshit on the ice. So I expect you to at least get it within the realm of possibility and being right. This was wrong. And it cost the Bruins, in my opinion. And, people can say Cam be mad, but I'm just like, if the shoe was on the other foot, you'd be saying the same thing. It's true. Yeah, shoe was on the other foot, and I did say the same thing. So it's kind of one of those situations. It is what it is, but now you're down 3-1 and you got to go win 3 games. I still think it's going to go 6, in my opinion, just for one game of desperation from the Bruins, and then they close it out in Boston. That's going to be my bold take on that. Just to talk about goalie interference for one more minute, is that they absolutely need to figure out what the fuck goalie interference is and just stick with that. Well, you know what, Rick? They do. So I actually read that full page and paragraph in the book. It's very well and clear defined. I just think they don't rule it that way. Because in other explanations that we were hearing from Toronto was that, like, oh, well, yes, we acknowledge the hit. There was contact initiated by the defending player. We don't think it was enough. But that's not how it's written. You can't give gray area because it was a cross-check to the back. It was right on the numbers. By your definition, that is a penalty. So then you have 2 things suggesting to you that should have been disallowed because, one, it was a cross-check. You have evidence of that, no question. I don't care whether or not you fucking think that was enough. The fact that it occurred, your job is not to determine whether or not it was enough. Your job is to determine whether or not it happened.
And you know what? Even if they're going to be keeping their whistles in their pockets, the fact that it happened at the goal crease, that's one of those calls that needs to be made.
Yep.
And
especially in a swing game. And especially in a swing game that could be the definition of a tied series or a huge series momentum builder for Florida.
Where
you got to get it right.
Where it happened, that's got to be a place where you got to make your calls.
Yeah. Outside of that, I think games 2 and 3, Florida owned the Bruins. There's no question about it. And it's no question. Florida is an amazing team. I love a lot of Florida players. I love Bob. I'll say it a million times. I like Florida as a team. I like a lot of the players on there. But I'm not going to sit quiet and say that I'm not disappointed with the way the NHL has handled that. They were told by both the Bruins and the Florida Panthers were told that the league was going to heavily scrutinize them. Well, that worked well in game 3 with the Bennett punch. So who's full of shit? I don't know. I just want the NHL to be better.
I know who's full of shit. The league and the refs, they're full of shit. It's obvious. It's obvious. It should be obvious to everybody.
But I still think, like I said, the Bruins series goes 6. By the way, for those of you listening, me and my co-host Matt, aka Daddy V, did a whole podcast on the Bruins on Hybrid Nation, so go check that out as well. And we go a little bit more in depth. I don't want to take anyone else's time here because we got a whole bunch of playoffs to kind of talk about.
Just to say one thing on that, there isn't a link in the description, but Hybrid Nation is under the Pucking Around podcast link. If you go there, you'll find it.
Exactly. Yeah. So go give us a watch, guys. We love the support. But outside of that, I had no other problem with the Boston Florida series. I thought it was going high, competitive, and whoever was scoring the most was winning the games. I thought it was a very entertaining series so far.
Shooting the puck the most.
Until on the power play, their stats. A majority of shots are on the power play, Matt.
No, but if you're gonna look at it,
I'm not talking about Florida. I'm talking about the fact that like the last 3 games, the Bruins have had like 12 shots.
Oh yeah, they have been. I'm not going to argue that.
Especially and, like the fact that Don Sweeney came out today too in that presser and said the Bruins aren't a volume shooting team.
No, you need to do it.
We got one guy in David Pasternak who's good enough to pick corners when he wants. That's it. Other than that, you got to get it to the net.
You got to get it.
No, I agree. I'm not going to disagree.
That's something they need to do.
To win.
Not going to disagree. And I'm sorry, people are saying Bob is having a great series. He really hasn't. He's been letting he's been letting in bad goals. That Carlo goal he should have had.
Last year he was much more spectacular in net.
He was he absolutely was, but still, you can't have only 12 shots through 2 periods of play and expect to win a playoff.
No, I disagree with the 12 shots through 2 periods. You just can't have 18 shots in the game alone when the other team is shooting 42.
Well, right. That's what I'm getting at.
Like you got to realize, like in the regular season, it's not uncommon.
No, but in the playoffs, that's a red flag. In that there were in the Toronto series too, Boston was getting outshot like that. That was a red flag. I mentioned it in some of the streams I did that that could bite them in the ass down the road, and I think once they met Florida, was gonna bite them in the ass.
Because Florida has the talent to put it away. I'm not gonna, like I said, I like Florida. They have the talent.
Florida's won the possession battle far and away. I think it's 2-1 or 3-1,
and at the dot too.
In favor of Florida,
and at
the Bruins don't even have the puck.
No, and they're not winning the faceoffs either, if I'm correct. Nope. I haven't looked at the stats.
No, Daddy Barkov is taking it.
Too, I think they lead the playoffs in giveaways too.
Lindholm and McAvoy lead the league in
so the red flags are there that Boston might not.
Yeah, no, like I said, I don't disagree. I don't.
But your point that takes nothing away from this particular call. And all that is right.
No, I agree. No, it should have been called right. Absolutely. But you also can't ignore these again, Rick. Like you said,
no, I won't. I'm not delusional.
Yeah, no, the red flags were there.
Bruins have been pretty thoroughly outplayed. They have.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree. The stats are there, and it's really concerning. It is. But yeah, no, I genuinely think had that goal got reversed, Boston goes to Florida tied 2-2. Swayman was
I also
crazy.
think Swayman's gonna save that first one too. Like that can never ever go in.
He was screened again.
That that can never ever go in.
He was screened again by his own defenseman. The guy didn't see it, and it went off of him. So he got a piece. It just wasn't enough.
Yep.
That angle that
I
can't
don't
go in.
All right. So can we move on? Should we move on to another series?
Yeah. No. Why don't we touch upon the Rangers Carolina series that's now going 5 games? Because now there's another.
Was anybody surprised that Carolina won the 4th game?
Yeah. I don't know what it is.
I was too.
They fold. They've been folding.
Who's been folding? Carolina or
Carolina.
New York?
Carolina. They're much better than they're playing. It's disappointing to see that.
But I was still surprised. I thought the Rangers were going to close that out.
With the way the Rangers were playing, I don't disagree.
So I was surprised that it would go another game. But I mean, I don't think it goes past. Although you know what, I think Carolina's talented enough, could actually make a series of it anyway with a win or 2. But I don't know if they can come back and win 4 in a row.
Yeah, I don't think that's possible. I don't think they're going to reverse sweep the Rangers.
No, I don't think so.
Not with the way Shesterkin's playing.
Yeah. The only one on there, so we could talk about, since we're talking about the Rangers, and we mentioned Trouba.
He tried. I don't know if it was last game or the game before, but there was another thing in slow motion where he threw his elbow.
He tucked his elbow and then he threw it out.
He leads with it, like, almost. You know what I mean? I don't think he knows how to make a hit without the elbow coming up.
I don't know, but let's go back to the piece with Martin Necas and how he flew into the boards.
Oh, he was launched himself like a fucking missile.
That was this
if that hit fucking lands,
he's dead.
Necas is in the hospital
at minimum. If it lands right on his temple, he's dead, because that's a hard piece of freaking plastic.
Yes.
You know, and guy launched himself. So it's coming at him with good speed, you know. And then the thing that I don't understand is, and I guess it'll be the NHL's we didn't have the right angle excuse, but the angle that I saw from behind, so you're seeing Trouba go that way, you're seeing the back. There's no doubt that his target was the head with the elbow. No doubt in my mind. How does this guy not get censured on that in some form?
Can I just pull out a quick poll? First of all, I'm glad Trouba's okay from hitting his face on the ice.
Oh yeah, I'm really happy. I'm really happy he's okay.
Yeah, like I'm glad. Like
paralyzed, if you ask me.
No, yeah, I'm surprised. I don't like to see guys get hurt, but if that guy would have hit the boards and crack his face open, I would have been happy.
Wait, you said if he cracked his face on the boards, you would have been?
If Trouba launching himself instead would have hit, where the glass and the boards meet, with his face and broke his face up a little bit, that would have made me a little happy. Yeah.
If he would have flopped like Chris Draper.
I'm tired of this guy running around the league with that elbow up trying to kill players, because if you want to tell me he's not trying to do that, I don't believe it.
I never want to see any player hurt like ever like that. I never want to see a player be paralyzed. I mean, no matter how much of a dirty player you are, and I mean, I guess it depends, but like no one
paralyzed, but crack his face up, he deserved it.
Yeah, I really was hoping that he would have gotten a lesson out of that, and apparently he didn't learn it, because again, he's still flying around with the elbow. I don't know, and Rangers fans are defending him, and I'm just like, listen, you also can't defend Rempe. It's hard to defend Rempe sometimes too. You got to understand that, yes, big hits, yes, this, yes, that, the other thing, and yes, it's hockey, and like, they're tough bastards, but you got to recognize sometimes when players like that do those things, you can't stand up for them. You can't stand behind them on that. You got to acknowledge
them to do more.
Like when if Marchand were to do that, I would have been like, dude, you can't do that. Even when Pasta took that penalty on, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Lundell.
Lundell, yeah, when he punched him in the face.
Yeah,
and I was like, yeah,
and everyone was looking after the play ended. Poof.
Yeah, I was like, you can't do that, Pasta.
What are you doing?
Come on. Yeah, what are you doing? Like,
stop
be better. Dumb. Yeah, I'm on record for saying it in our group chat.
Do it like Sam Bennett. Do it in the middle of it. Don't get up. When the play stopped and everyone's looking at you, and poof.
When you look at it, I mean, it's funny as hell sometimes when players do that, because it's like stupid, but no, it's very serious. It's very serious.
We're talking about the refs and everything. Can't you lay this at their feet by them allowing this stuff to happen unpunished? The more you allow that all through the year and now in the playoffs, the players feel like they can do what they want.
And I think that's a scary thing. You know what I mean?
It is a scary thing.
Because like when you allow, or especially in the NHL, see something like that, like again, the sucker punch to Marchand. Did Bennett mean to? Maybe, maybe not. Like, I'll see his side of the argument, but when you look at it, you can't not take that seriously, right? I don't care what people's thoughts are on Marchand. Like I said, nobody, regardless of history, deserves something like that. It doesn't matter. And when the NHL isn't even behind you and the refs aren't behind you, you're opening it up for violence. And that could be in the Rangers series. And I'm surprised people also still aren't going after Trouba for what could have been.
Me too. I don't understand how they can see that replay and you don't hear a peep about it. I still haven't heard or seen anything on Twitter of somebody with what I saw. That elbow was headed for his head and he could have killed him. I haven't seen that out there.
No,
I have. Not from Rangers. I haven't seen it from Rangers fans,
Trouba.
that's for sure.
It's just Trouba. It's just Trouba. Till he kills somebody, then it'll be what? Then everybody will be, my. Oh my. Well, you should have done something about it before.
Yeah. I'm waiting, dude. It's almost to the point where I'm like, I think enforcers need to come back into the game, and I don't want that. I love fighting in the game. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a huge part of the game. It gets people going. It gets people riled up. Like, no one gets severely hurt in a fight, I think, because they're very, like, the players know it's very well controlled. They know their limitations. But when you're talking at high speed levels now, like I said, these skaters go 20 plus miles an hour, and you're playing on the hardest surface in the world. Again, and if you get sandwiched in the boards, you're opening floodgates, in my opinion. But I mean, outside of that, the games in the Rangers and Carolina series have been extremely close. It's been the difference of special teams, actually.
Yeah, I watched the last game, the one that the Carolina won. I don't know. I don't think I saw any of the previous three, so I can't really say what went on before, but I watched that last one. I was a little surprised that Carolina did come back, but and in that series, I don't know, like I've got New York for my bracket, so I want them to win, but it's another series of two teams where I'd rather both of them lose.
They both lose.
Yeah. I mean, Shesterkin is playing out of his mind. He's playing well.
Yeah.
I really don't think that the Rangers defense is playing that great. They're doing their job, but I think their offense is what's carrying, and Shesterkin is also what's carrying. Alex might disagree with me a little bit, but that's fine. He's not here. I don't really care what he has to say at this moment. Because it's funny because he doesn't have to say anything at all because he's not here. Love you, Alex. But yeah, that's the difference. And just simply, Carolina's not getting it done for his team of as talented as they are.
No, they're not getting it done. I would have thought they'd do better. Like, I wasn't expecting 3-0 Rangers.
No, neither was I. Not with Rod Brindamore behind the bench.
I did pick the Rangers, but I didn't think it would be 3-0 in the first three games. Like, I didn't think it would be easy.
I don't think it has been easy.
I think I had that one going 7 games, so.
It still might. I got to tell you, I don't think it's been easy on the Rangers. They've had to fight for it, but
okay, maybe but I mean, 3 wins, first 3 wins to the Rangers. I didn't think it would go 3-0 Rangers.
I will say, what was the game that the Rangers won in overtime against a controversial penalty? I think it was a controversial call, right?
3, I think.
Yeah, I think it was an overtime thing, and it was a very questionable call. Could have gone either way. And this is the point that I want to make with just general officiating in the playoffs. And I don't blame the refs for it, but if it's ticky-tack, just swallow it. No, don't blow it. Swallow it. If it's egregious, call it.
What does Special Agent Harry Rice have to say?
About the series, I mean, I honestly couldn't care less about this series. I've been too busy watching Boston, Florida, and Dallas, Colorado, which is also on the same night as Colorado or Carolina Rangers. But from what I've seen, I mean, I love that Kotkaniemi has 0 points in the series, 0 points in the playoffs. Yeah, Rangers are just going to do their thing. They're going to stomp Carolina, and then they're going to get stomped by Florida in the conference finals. This is the battle of the two least likable fan bases in the league as well. One team makes fun of 9/11. The other team defends Jacob Trouba. I mean,
can we just go back to that for a second? In that Washington Rangers series, how horrible that was. That Washington D.C., our nation's capital, was chanting 9/11. What the fuck is your problem? That's not a joke.
No, because it's you look at how fractured both of our countries are.
And it's not to get political or anything like that, but that was an awful thing to chant. It's like someone making fun of a Boston Marathon, the Boston Marathon bombing, or any kind of terrorist or horrible act that happens anywhere. You just don't. You leave it alone. I wonder if the bulk of Carolina's fans would vote in one particular way or not.
It's not a fucking political thing. Come on.
Shush, Rick.
Who would be that classless, though? Who would be that classless to say something?
Both sides. Come on.
Yeah. No, it was surprising. I don't want to do it, but that series is over, and they're and the Rangers are in round 2. So, that is what it is. Washington got what they deserved out of that, but
Carolina's getting what they deserve as well.
I think so. I think, they're not playing it. They're not playing to their ceiling.
I'm not crying for Carolina. That's for goddamn sure.
Well, let me ask you guys this: with Carolina, if they don't advance, does Rod lose his job?
No, I think it takes one more year. If they're out in the first round, I think that's when they fire him.
Well, wait a second. You say lose? Isn't there a rumor that he's going to leave there? Doesn't he have? Don't they have to sign him or something?
Yeah, his contract.
I think he is planning. Yeah.
So it's not. Does he lose his job? Does he stay?
Oh, okay. If that's the question, no, he's leaving. If he's smart, he's leaving to go to a good organization.
I think the question is one and the same, because you can consider that losing your job, I would say, because you've lost the rapport with your franchise that you're currently with. Because if they don't want to sign you, you could argue that he's lost the job.
Or is Carolina a bit cheap and they don't want to give him the money he wants?
Well, Carolina has a lot of questions they need to answer.
So I kind of think it's probably money, from what I heard, because I didn't hear a ton about it. But kind of what I heard is that it might be a money thing. He wants to be paid, and they don't want to pay him what he wants. He's going to leave.
Any team, I think, would be lucky to have Rod. I think he's a great coach.
I think he won't be out of work long. That's for sure.
Nope, someone will scoop him up. I guarantee you, if New Jersey doesn't have a coach and they end up firing him, let's just say they lose.
If New Jersey hires Sheldon Keefe, I might die. Sheldon Keefe's the front runner for that job right now.
Okay, here's a question.
He's the only one available for that job right now, technically.
Does Sheldon Keefe get another job? As a head coach, head coach in the NHL.
Yes, he'll get another job as a head coach. Yeah, for sure.
Where, in Pittsburgh or anywhere else?
I have no idea, and I don't think Pittsburgh is ready to let go of Mike Sullivan.
Did anybody see that little clip that somebody put up of when Pittsburgh did something great in the playoffs, and Dubas was all and going crazy, and it was like Dubas when he heard that Keefe was available.
Yeah. Or that video of Sheldon Keefe that some guy made, and he just goes, "Yeah, I'm going to go work for Daddy Dubas."
Yeah, I saw that.
Was hilarious.
Yeah, that was funny.
The world is full of amazing people, and thank God for them, man. Like that's just awesome.
Yeah.
Be mad all you want, but that was funny as fuck. And I think Toronto fans don't care. They're glad he's gone.
They should be. I mean, he didn't do anything there.
But yeah, no.
I gotta go too. Like, a lot of people are not happy that he stayed.
But no, I think if Rod loses a job in Carolina, Keith, not Keith. Jesus, I can't even speak.
Sheldon
Keefe might also be a good fit for Carolina, because they need offense out of something, and I think Keefe has a good offensive mindset, just a poor defensive one.
Just because he's an offensive coach, and I don't mean that because he gets a lot of goals scored, doesn't mean it's. I'm just trying to make a bad joke. It didn't work out.
That happens a lot, Rick. We call that a senior moment.
No, it wasn't just a bad joke that didn't work out.
But ultimately, I thought that was going to be a fun series. I was actually really anticipating a good one out of Carolina, New York. I thought it was going to be gritty, and it is in a way
it's close. Like 3 of the 4 games have gone. I mean, I didn't watch or look.
Yeah, they have.
Game 4? But I know the first 3 games went to overtime. They've been close games.
I just thought the series was going to be closer in that sense, though. Like, I thought Carolina was going to dig deeper, but also I don't think Freddie Anderson has had a good series.
In this one,
color me surprised.
Overtime, like the bounce of the puck can.
What did Harry say? What happened there, Harry?
I said, color me surprised.
Oh, he had a good first series, didn't he?
He did.
He was good, like really good. I thought.
Yeah.
From
And
what
now,
I've seen.
I will say though, that kid Kochetkov, he's good.
Yep.
Kochetkov.
He deserved to be the starter this year.
I think, in my opinion, especially Freddie came back from a surgery. Yeah, I don't think you play Freddie like that.
Blood clots.
It wasn't surgery.
Yeah, it wasn't surgery.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. I'm thinking of Vasilevsky who had the
Yeah.
back surgery. What a
Yeah,
horrible
he
mistake that was
had
playing
disectomy
him.
or something like that. Yeah.
He had a vasectomy. It's weird how you know that.
Disectomy. He had a
Oh, okay.
fluid disc in
Need
his
that.
neck.
I know
So
you.
a vasectomy is there, and a dicksectomy is up there. That's like you said a
Disc.
Oh, a
Disc.
disc.
You freaking weirdo! Holy shit!
I'm
What do
old.
we-
I have bad hearing.
I used that excuse earlier, and you wouldn't give it to me.
Yeah, because you're not old. I am.
Oh well. Hey, I just wanted you to admit it.
Yeah.
Hey, the FBI is always watching.
Yeah.
FBI's always watching.
With you. Yeah. No, it's crazy. No, I think it goes 6. I don't think it goes 7.
I don't think the FBI drinks Molson Export.
Oh shit.
Would be kind of funny though if another New York team blows a 3.
Brought to you by our sponsors at Molson Export.
Yeah. Hey, now we have to get them as a sponsor.
Also, we actually drink the shit. Fucking sponsor us, please.
You were actually
got, like,
drinking
3
a
new
beer or
customers.
not? You were drinking
No,
a beer?
it's a
actually?
can from 2009.
Oh, okay. I didn't think you're drinking beer.
Fuck, dude,
No.
you have a 20-year-old bag of chips in your fucking room. You have a 30-year-old can of beer. Are you just like living in the fucking 80s? Like what or 90s? Whatever the fuck are we
I
doing?
want to relive my childhood. Leave me alone.
Buddy, you weren't even born in the 90s.
I said 2009.
No,
Yeah,
same
beer.
shit.
15 years.
I don't
I'm
know.
old.
Whatever. Yeah. Oh God.
All right. Let's talk about a different series now. Vancouver, Edmonton.
Vancouver's up 2-1 in that series, right? I think
Yeah,
so.
it looks like Vancouver.
They won last night.
I think they're going to take that series. And I have them in my bracket.
I think it goes 7. I think that series goes 7.
Yeah, it depends.
No.
I think it
Depends.
goes 7.
Edmonton's goaltending seems to have bottomed out right now.
I think they
like
have.
way bottom out.
Bottomed out.
I still think it
Edmonton.
goes. I still think it goes 7.
Straight down.
Yeah. The
Edmonton.
goaltending's a
You
problem.
didn't want to
But-
give up a pick for
Awful
Jake
this
Allen?
series.
You're
But-
getting that yet?
But think
Right.
of it this way though. Vancouver's goaltending has also been out of this world, so you're seeing two opposite ends of the spectrum. So which one breaks more? It and I have faith in Draisaitl, Hyman, and McDavid, and a couple of the other players on that team to kind of figure that out.
Or
Their depth?
So yeah,
Warrenfold-
that's biting
Warrenfold's
Edmonton
not
in the ass too.
They have zero depth on that team.
yeah.
I don't
You
want to
can't
say
re-
it's a bad depth. I mean, they have Warren
Like
Fogle,
5 players
they're-
have 0 points still.
Vander
And they're
Kane.
dirty as fuck.
Yeah, they're big bodies.
Edmonton
too.
is dirty.
I mean, I don't know. I still say
Blue
I still
foot,
says it goes
man.
7.
Like crazy shit. So yeah, it's amazing. Is it me, or have you guys seen this many dirty ass teams in the playoffs? Like, is that usual, or I just missed that? But
That's how you
there's
got to
so
play
many
in the playoffs.
dirty
usually. You gotta
ass
get
teams.
gritty, and you gotta hit
Not
hard. You
since
gotta be dirty
2019.
sometimes.
No, I get that, but more than normal. There's more dirty play than normal lately.
Yeah, no, not since 2019. Not since the Blues won the cup. I'm sorry, Pete. I'm glad the Blues got that cup for Layla. I think her name is.
Right,
Yeah.
Bless her, and I'm glad that to hear that she's doing well and things like that. But the Blues were a very aggressive, very run of the mill, goon like team in that series, led by Greg Berube. It's hard to kind of disprove
Well,
that.
Do you know that's why Elton John says sometimes that's why they call it the Blues? I thought
They definitely gave many black and blues, that's for sure.
I didn't watch that 2019. I wasn't watching playoff hockey for some reason. This year, I'm watching more playoff hockey than I even expect to watch. I'm not watching. I find at night I'm watching a game.
Yeah, motherfucker, we got a fucking podcast we got around here. Look, what are we doing? We're trying to work. God damn.
Yeah,
we got a
that's
fan
why I'm
base to
doing it.
appease.
I want to be able to be part of the conversation and have seen some of the games.
Hey, I think you're doing great, Daddy Rick.
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome.
It's very nice of you. Welcome to Christian Saturday
It's Monday. On any given day that ends in Y.
Hey, that's right.
Anyway, wait, hold on. Side question. Who's everyone's man crush Monday today?
Man Crush Monday.
Rick
Yeah.
Sellingman.
Ooh.
Yeah, nobody said that ever.
Doing
Said no one ever.
Shit.
Said no one ever. Matt, that was information I
George.
didn't really want to know. Just
Boy
let you know. 'Cause when we do finally meet, it's going to be awkward.
You're gonna knock on Rick's door and he's gonna answer just
Rick, just
like,
don't have
straight
lingerie
underwear.
on when you open the door.
Rick's gonna be in straight underwear and he just goes, "What? Did I order a pizza?"
I told Cab the story last night.
Oh god.
For those of you who don't know, Rick used to deliver pizzas, and so one time he just delivered to a house, and some guy opened the door.
12:30 at night. 12:30 in the morning.
Opened the door, and I'll just leave it at this: that he apparently was not expecting Rick because he was dressed quite provocatively.
Well, if he was a woman, it would be very provocative, but he was a guy, so
He
it
was
wasn't very appropriate.
dressed in women's like lingerie, buddy. I don't either. He was trying to send signals, or I don't
No,
know.
like seriously, he looked at me like I forgot I ordered pizza. I forgot. I forgot.
Or maybe he was wanting your dick in a box. I don't know what to tell you. You ever hear that?
There's no doubt he forgot I was coming and somebody else was coming over too.
Oh, somebody was coming, that's for sure.
Well,
Later,
yeah,
a
someone
little
was
later.
finishing. Don't worry about that.
I tell you, it was not me. I
Someone
promise.
was.
It was
Rick,
not
don't
me.
worry about it. Someone was
He
getting a
wasn't my
tip that
type.
night.
I like blondes.
Yeah, don't worry, Rick. Someone was definitely getting a tip that night and not cash.
How did like this show just sort of? We said somebody dropped, like the goalies dropped out. Our show just dropped.
Well, don't worry. As they bottomed out, we bottomed out. You know, we gotta
Yeah.
get with the program here. So that's all about pucking around, right? We're just pucking around.
I'm here for hockey. Wake me up when we're back there.
All right. So
Wake the fuck up. We got a
did
job to
anybody
do.
try to guess? Or we did, eh? Who thinks Vancouver wins this? Vancouver Edmonton.
Oh, I think Vancouver wins it. I
okay.
just think it goes 7. I think Oilers will play with desperation. And then McDavid
think
just
Yeah, but
goes.
okay,
So the Browns had to do it.
But that's fine. But if the goalies don't find their game, desperation or not, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a fair point. I just, I just want more
telling you,
hockey, man. It's
If
a
you're
long
out
way,
of it, right,
dude.
because
It's a
you're-
long way to October. You know what I mean?
It's a lot. Yeah.
There you go. You have one game left. Savor it.
Yeah, you got
Hey,
one
shut
left.
the fuck up. It might be 2. Doubtful, but it might be 2.
Might be 3. You don't know.
It might be 3. Yeah, fuck you, Matt.
You never know. They
You're
could
wearing a
come out
Celtics
totally
jersey.
different team.
You are a disgrace to everyone in Boston. I want you to know that. You are a Canadians fan in Boston. You show some damn respect. That's like being a
because
Yankees
he's
fan
one
in
of the
Boston.
smartest people in Boston, obviously.
I don't know. Have you seen the man's grade point average?
Well,
I had a B average.
Motherfucker, you have a 0. Like shit. Dude, who the hell are you lying to
this
over
show's
here?
gotten downhill all of a sudden. Real
What do you
quick.
mean it's gone downhill? People
Rick,
love
we
this
have to
crap.
go
They love
uphill
us.
for it to go downhill.
I can't wait to see the edited version of this. It's going to be like 20
Special
minutes.
Agent Harry Rice has spoken.
Like
All
I
right,
said,
we're going to talk about it. There was one other. What's the other series that's still out there?
Colorado, Dallas.
Oh yeah,
that's an entertaining series. Let me tell
I've
you
seen
that,
none of that. I've seen none of that.
dude.
Yes,
Goal
I haven't seen
scoring,
one. Me neither. I've been watching the other 3.
dude. Goal scoring galore. I fucking love that series. No team is out of it. Like Colorado is what in game 1 down 3 or 4 to nothing or something like that.
3-0. They win 4-3 in OT.
Okay,
Wow.
but Dallas won the last 2. Are anybody surprised Dallas is up 2-1 in that series?
Yes.
No.
No.
I kind of am. It looked like it was gonna go Colorado's way after the first game. I thought, man, I'm gonna lose that series, and then it's 2-1 Dallas. So I'm a little bit, but I'm hoping I'm right
left to
about.
play though, Rick. A lot of hockey left to play, and I think that's
There
a fucking
is.
entertaining series. I think that's the best. Honestly, that's the best series out of this playoffs, and out of this round of the playoffs so far. I mean,
I don't know. Florida, Boston, I've enjoyed a lot.
I think it's
Oh,
because
yeah, me
it's
too.
late. It's a later series. I haven't been watching the later games. I've only been watching the early game.
yeah, no, it's a good series. I love it. But then again, like I said in the interview we did, that my second favorite team is the Avalanche, and it's been so
Right.
ever since I got into
You did
hockey
say
back in 2002.
That's very true. You said that. Yeah, and I don't cheer for any other team, so I just, for me, it's what I picked in my brackets.
I think
because listen, it's right now. I'm going to be right. If it stays the way they are, all 4 series, I'm going to get second round all right as well.
Yeah, cuckoo cuckoo for you. No one
Aren't you
gives
jealous? I've never done that before. That's going to be.
You know what? Next year we should put money on this shit. Then I'll actually.
Well, we
care
usually
more.
do. I usually give a prize, but I didn't this year. I didn't do it. I didn't even want to do it. Matt did it without asking.
Is the prize a free pizza delivery from Rick Seligman?
Anyways, I'm leading. I'm leading the league.
Oh, no one gives a fuck.
Well, I can brag. I don't do that very often.
No, you don't get
the league. That is, I brag a lot. I don't lead the league very often, though.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
Anyway, I love that series, man. Nathan McKinnon. It's just been a good, hard-fought series. 2 very offensively talented teams going at it, and defensively talented teams going at it, and I just love it. I think that for me is
pretty solid goaltending
here.
Yeah, from Ottinger and Georgiev. Yeah.
Here's a good question. We've probably touched on it earlier in the year. With obviously some good teams going to get knocked out here in the second round. Isn't that a case for why they should go to that 1-8 playoff format?
You know, after this year, I'm in way more agreement with Alex on this, because if you look at it, it absolutely should have been that way, because that would have altered a lot of the elements here. Like New York, the Islanders would not have played the Rangers. Because I think it was New York. No, it was Carolina.
You want to know
Islanders.
something funny?
Sorry, I can't remember.
You want to know something funny about that? I saw on Twitter someone put it up. Whether it went 1-4 in the divisions or 1-8, the first round matchups all would have been the same.
Yeah, but I think it's a matter of this how it impacts the second round.
But that could be, but the first round would have been the same. No, but I'm still in agreement. I think they should go 1-8, 1-8 on both.
No,
sides.
It wouldn't have been the same.
Yeah, I saw.
It wouldn't have been the same. The Islanders.
I saw it up there. It would have ended up the same.
No, because the Islanders had less points than Tampa. It would have been Isles, Washington as the WC 2-1. That would have changed one matchup.
That's what that tells you how much to rely on memes when you see them.
Yeah, no, I think it would have changed. Yeah, I think it would have changed.
Either way, I want them to go back to the old way that they used to do it. But there was if I'm not wrong, there were a couple seasons where they freaking did it 1-6, 1-12, I think, like that. That was no good. But 1-8, I think, is fair enough.
Yeah, I think they got to go back to that. I think they were worried about in the Eastern Conference Finals the likelihood of 2 teams from the same conference meeting each other. But I'm just like, sure, but you want to know what? At this point, whatever. It's got to be the better team. The better team, and that's why I say in a series, the better team always wins.
How
right?
Can 2 teams in the same conference meet?
In the same? Sorry, did I say conference? I'm sorry, the same division.
Or division? How can they meet at the end?
In the conference final, they can.
Oh, I guess when you're doing 1-8. Okay, no, you're right.
I guess there's like a statistical number.
With the wild card too, but it's rare.
Yeah, it was like I think it was like a 10% higher probability or something like that. Like the numbers came out, and that's why they transitioned away from the 1-8, because they actually wanted to see teams from multiple divisions in the conference finals.
Like a Boston, Montreal, ECF, or like something like that'd be fucking lit.
That'd be good.
You know what I mean? Though, like
I'd
you
love
have
it.
those rivalries in the Eastern Conference Final, like that'd be sick.
They kind of need to find a way to get those rivalries deeper. I don't know how to.
In the implications too on how now every game would matter, because now you can plan seeding and you can do things like the way it could work is just absolutely insane. And it adds more excitement, in my opinion.
Yeah,
but we're in the second round, so I mean, like that pretty much nullifies it. I still think that, you know, in a 7-game series, the better team always wins, because it's not like football or any single knockout game where you could easily just have a bad night or something like that.
I don't know if that's true, because you're not factoring in possible injuries and stuff. I think you might be in general. I think you're right, but I mean, it's not a hard and fast rule.
No, it's never a hard and fast rule, but generally speaking, yes, the better team always wins a 7-game series, right? There's barely any question to that.
No, I mean,
I don't think the Habs are the best team in any series they played in 2021. That's all I'm saying.
Right, and they won.
No, Carey Price saved your ass.
They won.
No, we were easily better than the Jets.
What was that?
That I could probably give you because we fucking smoked the Jets, but
We smoked them that year. Yeah.
even though we beat the Leafs,
and Mark-
and like I want to throw up when I say this, like we weren't the better team.
And Mark Scheifele blew
We
up.
weren't better than
Jake
Vegas.
Evans.
We weren't, but
Well, you could make the argument though that we were built for the playoffs better than them.
no, we
Yes.
were. I mean, when you have the Twin
So-
Towers of friggin' Ben Sherratt and Shea
So,
Weber,
Eric
so what?
Stahl.
So my
Gordy, let's
point
not make a
being,
Twin
like,
Towers joke because those
Oh.
fell. Let's not go there. Like, come on, we gotta remember that. I
That's
literally
right.
just went on a
Yeah, let's
tangent
not
about
do
how
that
terrible that is, and now here we go. Now we're gonna mention the Twin Towers. Fucking A, dude. Apologies to New Yorkers everywhere.
Americans everywhere. It should affect all Americans, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what choice of wording, Matt? Jesus.
That's what's disgusting about that, by the way, is that's Americans screaming that to other Americans. Like, how
should see-
does that make sense to anybody?
You should see what I say to my mother, let alone to other
Okay, but that's
Americans.
different.
Shit.
That's different. All right.
Sorry,
now
Mom.
we
I
move
love you
on
if you're
from that.
watching this.
So, what are we going to talk about? We talked about all the series now. What's left?
Do you have any overtime questions? You've been slacking
Oh,
on
well,
that,
no,
big
I
man.
was gone all day. Honestly, I didn't get
Wow,
any
you're
work.
unbelievable. This is the lack of preparedness that we've been talking about, ladies and gentlemen. This is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's
We're
getting
going
too
crazy here and
But
pucking
it's
around.
summertime, so, and I'm the executive producer.
the
So
IHF
I'm gonna-
going on right now.
I'm
And your
gonna-
Slavkovsky's own in face.
hang on, yeah, that's a good idea. I'm gonna punish myself right now as the executive producer.
Did you just okay, guys? He slapped himself.
Now that's really good. That's what I wanted to talk about earlier. Slav at the World Championships. This kid is becoming a man right in front of our eyes out there on the ice.
He's been so
He-
good.
You know what? The one line that the U.S. had no answer for, that's what I read because I didn't see the game, was Slav's line. Slav is
Oh, yeah.
dominant out there.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait next season to see this kid play.
He's coming.
Oh, he's scoring 40 goals.
from a
30. I'm not going to go 40. I'm going to be a little bit more but 30. I can see him going up 10 goals. Like this kid is going to, and he's going to hit 70, 80 points. Like it sounds ridiculous, but this kid is going to get where he needs to get to real quick. Like he's not going to be a 5-year. This kid wants to get there now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's on a helicopter up, not a fucking. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
No, and from a Bruins fan, I think it's good to see because I love parity in the league, and I've said this to you guys several times over. The NHL is 1,000 times better when at least 75% of the original 6 teams are competitive. I love it if all of the original 6 teams were competitive at the same time. Yes, but Rick, I think you touched upon this. It's
got the
difficult
Ottawa
when they're all in the same conference. You know what I mean?
But also we got the Ottawa Senators too. You can't ask for miracles.
Well, I mean, I bet on them having.
Well,
a
if they
bad
were
series.
original
But
6
so wouldn't
teams, then yeah,
Shane.
we could.
Oh, that's right. They're not. I thought you were talking Canadian teams. My bad.
But
Well, then there's Toronto.
they're not. They're close.
right
They're
there.
close.
They're right there, man.
They're not close
Kansas
at all.
City, they're
Not until they
right
blow the tomorrow.
there.
They are right. Toronto is right there. They're really close, and I don't know. Like
Rick just froze there. It was fucking great.
Who votes?
people, me, I froze. Listen. No one gives a fuck. We're on audio.
Until they blow the core up and free money up to like actually
I
strengthen the depth and get a
disagree.
goaltender
They're-
that bucks, they're not winning games.
I disagree. I think it's I changed the captain. They already got rid of the coach.
8 fucking years of the same shit.
They don't
And
have
they're
any
not
holes.
any closer than
Matt,
they were
they're
when they
so
drafted
fucking
Austin
close, dude.
Matthews.
If they started Joseph Woll, if he was healthy enough, the Bruins don't win that series.
But
Probably right, but
still,
they're
they have a
still
hole in
shit
goaltending.
Florida.
They got a hole in goaltender. They got a hole on defense. They got a hole in their chests on the top 4 guys.
No,
they
they
got
have their
lots of holes
goaltender
to
in
fill.
Wool. No, they have their goaltender in Wool. I disagree with you. They have the
Yeah.
offense to do it. Their
No,
defense.
All they need is a
It's
backup.
their defense.
Yeah, but he's kind of injury. He missed a lot of.
I'll say this.
Various injuries.
Every year they got their goaltender. They got their goaltender. They don't got their goaltender till they got him, and that's after years.
They have him.
proves
It's
it.
Joseph
They
Woll.
Then I'll
have
say
them.
yes.
Yeah.
But till then, no, because every year they got they got it this year. No, they got shit is what they got.
Toronto, I mean, it's just amazing how Toronto fans are so quickly giving up on a lot of their talent too. I mean, like I get it. Mitch Marner is not the greatest defensive
Dude,
player, and
he's
a liability.
With 1 playoff series win. They gotta. That's big changes.
I think Marner. I think if anything, I think Marner is probably the piece that they trade. If not, get rid of Tavares. It's got to be one of those two, in my opinion. But no, I disagree with you, Rick and Matt. They are there. They're really dangerously close, and they're on the cusp of breaking it. And I think getting Berube is going to be part one of solving that, hands down.
Yeah, I mean, until he pisses off Austin Matthews, and then it's back to square
It's not
one.
Austin Matthews. I'm worried
No, the
about
problem
him
with
pissing
that
off.
team
It's
is
Marner.
those core 4 guys have way too much ego.
They're prima donnas, and it's going to be hard to get all 4 prima donnas to play.
No, I think it's Marner. I think it's predominantly Marner.
I think it's all of them.
I think it's Marner. I think that's
Nylander's
They
fine.
run
I think
that
Nylander is
team,
great.
Nylander's probably the only one that's fine.
And that was one thing
in my opinion.
I kind of felt bad for Keefe about, because I honestly I don't think he had any authority in that locker room.
No, but you want to know what you
Why
as
do
a
you feel
coach.
bad for him about that? He's supposed to have the authority. He wasn't the right guy. He's not that kind of coach that has that authority. Did you see his pregame talks?
No, but as a
No,
coach,
I agree with that.
That's
But the
the
problem
coach
is they're
guy.
going to bring in a coach like that, and then the core 4 is going to whine.
Okay, but then
No, they won't.
That talks to my
Oh,
point.
Cam, they've been doing it for 8 years.
they'll bench. I get a guy like Berube in there. Sorry to interrupt you, Rick. I'll just say this and then I'll let you go. A guy like Berube is not going to settle for Marner's bullshit, and that's going to be it. Like he's not going to let Marner pull the bullshit, and then he's not going to let him play after that.
Is he going to settle for Matthews' bullshit?
Matthews, I don't think he has bullshit. He performed this year in the playoffs. He did what he had to do. He won game 2 for the Leafs. He stepped up. He was the player that they needed him to be.
We're not talking about on ice.
Sometimes that's all you need, Rick, is just one game.
Yeah.
I'm
and
never
they couldn't win game 7, but that's fine. That's
I don't
their
care. Never going to be sold on Matthews. Whether it's rational or not, I don't care.
and you don't have to, but it's fine. I think that they're so damn close, and it's just
They're
kind
really
of
not.
concerning. They are. I think they are.
They need
Let's see. They need a new coach. They need some better goaltending, and they need a heart transplant. I
It's
don't know how
not
they're
the
gonna get the heart
goaltending.
transplant.
Wool was a stud against
They
Boston.
need to.
The
they
problem
need to
with Joseph Woll, though, yes, he's very good. I think he's a very, very good young goalie, but he's way too injury prone.
And
he
if you
missed
want,
like 3/4 of the season with various injuries, and then he got hurt trying to save that shot.
Yeah.
He sprained his back trying to make a save on that goal
Yeah.
that when it was like 0.1 seconds left.
so they still have
That's
to
the
find
issue
that
with
goalie.
Joseph Wall.
No, I think they just need to find a tangible backup.
He's just injury prone.
This team to me needs to go through more than a what's that? It's not a rebuild because they've got to find that right comp. The guys have to be moved out and new guys brought in. There's no doubt they've got to.
1000%.
See, I'm with
I
Harry.
think
They
that
just
can't
need
be
a
the captain.
defenseman. Yeah, I'm with Harry. They just need a defenseman and a tangible backup. That's it.
They also need a better captain. John Tavares is not a leader.
I've said that several times, but they're not going to strip the C away from him, even though they should.
Okay, here's what I also wanted to say. So if they don't play for a coach like Keefe, right, he can lose the room. And then possibly Berube might be too strong and they're going to not, they're going to sort of fight against that. Then the problem is in the room itself.
Yeah,
That's
but I
what
think
I've
Shanahan.
always thought.
No, I think
That's what it's always seemed like, and I think Shanahan's also a huge problem.
I think Shanahan is getting fed up though, and I will say this, and so I
Why
genuinely
should he be getting fed up? It's
He
his
should be
fault.
getting out of there.
It's his fault. He should be fired.
I don't disagree with that, but I think he's also getting fed up. And if you bring a guy like Berube, I think he's at the point where he's no longer going to be on the side of the players. He's going to be on the side of the coach because you went through Mike Babcock, you went through Sheldon Keefe, you went through a plethora of coaches. So, and I think the history between that is like he kept on choosing the players' sides. So I'm like, there is a point in time where you have to have the coaches back, and I think
Well,
to be fair with Babcock, he was abusive. So.
Yeah, Babcock was a dick, but
They went from abusive to Mr. Milquetoast. So they bring in Berube in the center. If that's where he is, okay. But if he's short of abusive, but hard, these prima donnas they're gonna fight against that.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Leaf Tree Podcast. Like it's great. No, but I think they're right there. Hey, how about that draft lottery?
He might be the only person in the NHL that thinks they're that close.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Cam, that's what it was. We were going to talk about the draft lottery.
Yeah. By the way, does
what
anyone
it
think
was.
that it's too early for Macklin Celebrini to request a trade out of San Jose?
Oh,
No.
well, can we talk about another draft? This was hilarious. I know you guys don't watch basketball, but the NBA draft lottery was yesterday. The Atlanta Hawks, who had a 3% chance of winning the lottery, won it. And the team that finished with the worst record dropped all the way back to the 5th overall pick.
That's amazing for basketball. It's crazy that this is a hockey podcast.
Yeah, it's not. This isn't the balling around podcast, but the pucking around podcast.
No, Rick, there is a thing called the Balling Around podcast. It's called
It'd be kind of
Pornhub.
funny to talk about.
What does a Pornhub podcast sound like?
I don't want to describe the sounds to you. I could.
Yeah.
Oh, there goes Matt. There he is.
I don't want to go
There
there.
goes Matt.
Not
Yeah,
going
see.
there.
Yeah, I thought that was a fucking
We
funny
chased
joke.
Harry out of the room.
at me at my Twitter handle at Goosey94. That is Goosey94.
All right, so let's talk-
Goosey.
Let's talk about the draft lottery a little bit then.
I thought it went exactly as, everything. No one moved up, no one moved down. It went exactly as it is, and I think that's going to be exciting. I think it's going to be a good draft year, and I think the teams are going to make the appropriate, acquisitions that they need.
That's
least for
kind
the
of
first
vague,
10
though.
picks.
What you just said is just like vague,
You're fucking
It's
welcome.
kind of what everybody says.
right? That's just like it's like listening to hockey players interviewed. Yeah, we're really trying. We're giving great guys in the room. I love my teammates, and
Columbus is
we're
going to
really
make
give it
a
our
dumb
all.
decision, and then it's going to rebound through the rest of the first round.
You're very vague there.
San Jose skips on Macklin
I know.
Celebrini.
What I think is they're going to drop the puck. No, the players are going to try to hit the puck and get some pucks in the net. I think that's how it's going to go tonight, dude.
Rick, you guys are having a great game tonight. What do you got to do to get back in yourselves in it? Well, we got to score goals. Yeah, how are you going to do that? We're going to put the puck in the back of the net. Yeah, how are you going to do that? We're going to shoot it with our sticks.
There you go.
How are you going to do that? I'm going to put it in my hands. I'm going to get the puck on my stick, and I'm going to shoot it. We scored a goal.
Let's do that hockey.
That's
Like
hockey
that. That's
101.
literally how
Hockey
they sound. It's
101.
hilarious.
Hockey 101. Puck goes from stick to net.
How do you guys score more goals? Put the puck in the net. Like, seriously. So, yeah, no, I agree with you. It's hilarious with some of the reactions. It's like, yeah, no shit. But, like, how? Like, what's the game plan? Talk to me. Like, give me something.
No, they teach these guys. They go through social media school or something, how to answer generically in interviews. Because the NHL wants the players to be as vanilla as possible. They don't want character.
No, that's not it.
They do want. They don't like the character. They don't like. Well, maybe they are more so than they used to be, but for a long time there, and they didn't want players to have character at all.
Okay.
I'll stick with that.
That's fine.
All right. What else
I mean,
about the
Jeremy
draft
Roenick
lottery?
and Sean Avery say hello, but
I don't think there's really much to discuss. It's going to go exactly as planned. I think.
No. Okay, so if you want to talk about the draft lottery and then where all teams are, then you got to talk about players that are going to be drafted. And I'll tell you this draft that's coming up, aside from Celebrini going first,
you have no clue where everybody's
no
on.
clue
Aside
who's going
Stitching
where.
at 5, but
there's like it's the biggest, like a guy that some guys have at 13, and some have at 2 or 3. Like it's hard to judge where these guys are going to land.
I think this is going to be one of those great years where the teams, instead of taking the best available player, they're going to take the best available player for their system. Like, you know what I mean?
That should be, honestly, shouldn't that in general, that should be your plan, right? Best available player shouldn't necessarily be a guy like Celebrini, who, works for every team, but sometimes it's the best guy for your team.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with that.
And that's why I think Montreal's going with Iginla, because I think that is the best guy at that spot for their team. There's one other guy, though, who's like, if you look at the rankings, he's around 12 to 15, and that's Barrett Seneca.
Beckett Senecki.
Or Beckett
Senecki.
Beckett Senecki is a guy that I think is going to go higher than most people have them.
He's going at 3. I'm calling it now. I think he's going 3.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
I have no clue why. I love Oshawa. I love the Generals. This is a guy that does not deserve to go top 5, top 10.
Senecki?
Senecki, no. And I will say this: Grant McKay predicted that we picked Slavkovsky, and he predicted that we picked Reinbacher. and he's saying we're picking Senecki. He is the one guy I will stop watching the Canadians if we pick Beckett Senecki at the draft.
Jesus
I'm serious. I've said I don't want a defenseman unless it's Siliev.
He's not. He's a right wing.
No, I know, but I've said if we get a defenseman, if it's not Siliev, I'm not gonna like the pick. If it's Beckett Senecki, I'm not watching the Canadians next year.
Hey, Harry. I hear the Utah Hockey Club is going to be looking for more fans.
Wait, yeah, right. I want to know why.
I mean, I'm already a fan of the Coyotes, so yeah.
What don't you like about
the who?
I don't know why. I'm not sold on the name. I don't think the name value is there. I don't think that with his style of play, he adjusts for 3, 4, 5 years, which I get. That's probably what the Canadians wouldn't mind is the best player in 5 years. He's not going to be that though, especially if we're picking at 5th and you still have a Ginla on the board, you still have Cole Eiserman on the board, you still have Berkeley Catton on the board, you still have all these forwards. Yeah, Caden Lindstrom. If you have all these guys on the board, I can't see how you look at Beckett Senecki and see this is the guy who's going to be the best in 5, 6 years. I don't get how the Canadians look at that and think that.
I tend to agree with that, but I'm just saying. But no, for me, I don't care who's on the board. If a Ginla's there, that's who I think.
Yeah, it should be. But Graham McKay has predicted the last 2 right, and he's saying we're going Senecki.
Ginla's the only guy. Like when you look at the different mock drafts, he's consistent. Only one in like the same consistent kind of spot in that like 5, 6, 7 range. Everybody else is fucking all over the place.
Yeah, no, but you're right. Ginla is pretty consistent on where he lands. Yeah, that's who I want. I want them to. I'm going to be disappointed. Yeah. I mean, I'll accept, but I'm going to be disappointed if they don't take Ginla.
I'm looking for a Ginla and Lindstrom.
Breaking news: Montreal Canadiens, with their 5th overall pick, select Rick Seligman as their water boy.
Yay! I got a job.
$2 an hour.
It's better what I'm making on YouTube.
That's true.
Shit, dude, that's our partner, man. Fuck. Damn.
We're talking about a guy like Lindstrom. You know what? I think Lindstrom could go second. I think he could, and I think Demidov might go 4th, and we'll see a guy either Levshinov or Silayev go 3rd to Anaheim. Yeah. Now, also I think it's possible Columbus could take a defenseman as well. It could leave Lindstrom to Montreal. It could leave Demidov to Montreal. I don't think it's set.
You know what Columbus needs? They really need a reset. That line is a center for them. They just need to be better.
They still have to make a pick, though.
They do.
And they need everything. So they could take a defenseman. They could take a forward. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, I agree. They need a goaltender, too.
Yeah, they need everything.
Columbus is one of those teams, if they don't pick, I could see them moving back.
Wait, if they don't pick, you could see what? I didn't hear that part.
I could see them moving back. I don't know why, but Columbus, even though they kind of do need everything, I think with the coaching change that they made last year, I think it could work out. I could see them being a team that moves back just to try and get more assets.
Right, because it gets them a lot of assets. Yeah, I think you could. Yeah, they could do that, especially if they're serious about maybe they changed the GM, so now we're going to make a push to rebuild this.
Yeah,
yeah. They got rid of Jack. They got rid of Jack Roslovic, for example. I mean, he's what 27, but I mean, he's a good player.
Yeah, hometown kid as well.
Okay, but that's former management now, right? Kekalainen is gone.
So I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting draft.
Mm-hmm.
I think it really will be. Like, it'll be a draft where I don't think you can really legitimately pick or predict what the teams are going to pick.
No.
Yeah. And I mean, hey, Mr. Doobie Roller over there, are we doing a live party for that?
Are we what?
Are we doing a live party for that? Yeah, we're going to go live, baby.
The draft?
Yeah, we might even have some prizes to give away.
Yeah, the draft is Friday night, round 1. So I imagine it starts at 7, but yeah, of course, I'm going to be doing it live. Harry's going to be doing it.
Yeah, Pucking Around Podcast is going to be doing it live too. We're going to have some prizes to give away, right, Rick? Yeah, we're going to have some prizes.
Oh, you want to do a live, but it's a Friday night.
Yeah. I don't got fucking work in the morning.
Okay, but it's still a while away. Don't worry, we're going to plan it out.
That's all I'm saying.
But I think everybody on my, everyone who knows me knows I'm doing a draft day. I might even do the second day a little bit.
Wow. Holy crap. Ooh. Rick, slow down. Too much, too fast. Holy cow. Well, he's lighting it up again, guys. Couple puff passes, Rick. Come on, share with the team.
You want?
You're a little further away from me. It's an 8-hour drive. I'm pretty sure that thing will be a roach by the time I get up
Come
there.
on down.
It'd be more. Well, it'd be come on up for me.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yep. There you go. Directions. I know directions are hard.
I know. Hard for us Canucks.
Yep. Yeah. I
Okay,
know.
this episode is now devolving.
This episode got weird, and we hope everyone enjoyed
devolving
it.
real quick.
Yeah, buddy.
It got weird
right.
when
I'm
Matt
here
moaned.
I think we're probably at this point boring everybody that's watching.
If anyone's
anybody-
bored from the sexual innuendos that have happened, I don't know. Don't follow me on Twitter.
that was a while ago.
If anyone's sick of the sexual innuendos, do not listen to my rap music.
You're a rap
Isn't
artist?
all rap sexual innuendos?
Oh, I'll show you an
Straight
innuendo.
out talking about it.
I'll definitely show
Oh,
you.
look
an
at that.
innuendo.
He went from special agent to DJ Harry Rice.
Again, I can't wait to see the edited version of this damn thing. He's gonna edit out so much of this shit. This hour podcast is gonna be 30 minutes.
I don't edit the podcast.
Oh wow. Hey, well, so everyone gets this bullshit. Oh, cool. God
Yeah.
damn. Matt's doing God knows what. All right, let's take
Everybody
it
gets
out
to
of
hear
here,
Matt
Rick.
moan.
All right.
Take us out, Rick.
So that's going to do us for tonight. Hopefully you enjoyed all our bullshit and whatnot. We'll be back next week to bring you another episode of Bullshit and Whatnot right here at the Pucking Around Podcast. So listen, don't forget, if you enjoyed watching us, whatever, give us a thumbs up. I forgot to play that thing. Give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to this channel. And we'll be back next week with another great episode, probably still talking about the playoffs and a couple of other things. And we'll see how much a difference a week. What, you think by next week we'll be out of the second round? No, not yet, eh?
Yeah, I think
We should be out of the second round.
By Monday, I think we'll be moving on.
Yeah, so we'll give a
presumably.
review of the second round and move on to the third round. And that's what to look forward to next week. So till then, please stay safe out there. Peace out, everybody. And don't forget to check out all our podcasts. Links are in the description for Pucking Around Podcast, Habnormals Podcast, High Bruin Nation, and what's the other one there? The Flyer are gonna flyer up. And links are all in the description.
Also known as Cuck Ahead, Gonna Cuck Ahead.
There you go. I don't think Jamie would appreciate that.
Well, no, Jamie's cool. I'm more talking about
We're talking about Alex.
the beef, man.
All right, everybody. Have a great week out there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Ciao, everybody.
Ciao, everybody.
I talked over you. Bye, everybody.